Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you a little bit about easy mastering and how you can just, just like master your shit, you know. So for today's video, I'm going to use this song as an example because it's a thing that I made on my stream and I think it's pretty cool. So if some beginners are watching or something, I just gotta say that mastering a track doesn't really turn a shit track into a gold track, you know? Before you start doing the final mastering, you gotta mix the track properly and get a good mix before you start handling the master. So what I think about before I master stuff is it's gotta already sound good without any mastering. So just please promise me to like never produce your track while your mastering chain is activated. Okay, enough of that. Let's just get into it. So I know I said that never produce with like a mastering chain, but this is just to make the sub mono with a utility. So everything under 120 Hertz is just mono, you know. And then I just got a limiter with a preset called Dubstep Punchy Controlled Lows. And I got this just to make sure nothing really clips that much or something. After that, I usually just add an ozone. So to get ozone, you just drag in like an EQ and call it isotope ozone 7, and wow, would you look at that, we got ozone. So in your line of effects or whatever, I'm just gonna put the imager right here. So what I'm gonna do now is just show you guys what I personally do when I master stuff, and yeah, how to get shit loud. So starting off, we're gonna switch to the mono stereo. You can call it mono stereo or mid side. It's basically the same. So on the sides, we can just solo this. So now we only hear the sides. In the first band, I'm just gonna put a high pass and tighten this up and put it to like 120. Even though we already did this, but I don't know, I just like to do it for like good measure or something. And then after you're done that, I like to just link mids and sides. And then I go to the number 5 and then I type in 3450. And then I just tighten this up a little bit and then put the gain down. And now we got some sort of dip that's just making sure that there's no harsh frequencies or something. And there's this frequency at 500 which I hate, which usually appears. So I'm just gonna put that down a tiny little bit. And then we're gonna go to the 8th band and we're gonna select the high shelf. And we're just gonna put this up a little bit. And now we can just unlink these, and now you can see that we got the same stuff on both. So now let's go over to the imager. So I usually put this at 120 because that's where we cut the sub. And I'm gonna put this at 1500 Hertz, and then I'm just gonna drag this down so you can see that it starts to like go out and then it goes back in. And yeah, I'm just gonna put it here. So what we're gonna do now is control what's going to be stereo and mono. Everything beyond this point, I want it to be like -30. And this whole thing, I want it to be +30. And same with the high end. And we're not gonna do anything with the 3rd band. So let's go over to the dynamics. So this is the part where everyone pretty much suffers. And by everyone, I don't mean like every single of you guys watching. I'm just talking about like beginners and stuff that usually tells me like they don't know what to do in the dynamics part. So we're gonna actually just put these to the same 1.5K, just like we did in the previous mono stereo thing. And I don't really have any tricks to do here. I just put this at 6, put this at 4, put this at 3, and then back to 6. I'm basically just, I think I'm basically just compressing everything. So after that, I usually do the IRC4 and I put this to fast. So now this is the part where we're gonna make everything super loud. I'm gonna open up a FabFilter limiter because it's a gray limiter where you can see your levels. like this. So what we're gonna do now is compress everything so it's really flat, but not make it clip. And then we're gonna use the limiter to just bring everything up to the maximum volume so everything sounds very loud. We're gonna drag the threshold way down. And now you can see it starts peaking and going into the red, which is not what we want. So we're just gonna drag this down. And you can see that it's not peaking anymore. We're gonna drag the ceiling way down. So now this is our maximum volume. And you can see on the side that we're squishing this really hard. And we could put this more down, but I like to just leave it at -10 or -11.
What's happening? Why -11? Oh, that's what you mean.
So I'm just gonna leave it there. So you gotta just play around with your input and the ceiling to get the perfect, like, you can see that it's brick walling pretty hard, which isn't really that good if you want to keep all of your dynamics, which means that there's not much difference between the lowest and the loudest point of the volume. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this brick walling pretty hard like this, and yeah, we're just gonna drag the gain up. And now you can see that it's at the very top that it can be without any clipping or anything, and it's very loud. So without any of this, it would sound so that's how you do like beginner stuff, but at the same time really advanced. So if you didn't understand anything of what I just did, I'm gonna show you guys a really cool trick to do if you just want to see how your song would sound if it was like really well compressed and stuff, even though it's not really that well compressed. But we're gonna open up a utility with a bass mono, as I did. No need to add any limiters, although you could add a limiter, but I guess you're gonna lose some of your transients if you got a lot of sharp transients and stuff. So after that, we're gonna go into the multiband dynamics. We're gonna add an OTT, some multiband compression, and a standard multiband compressor. And we're gonna put all of these to like 1,000 time on each, so you don't get any annoying reverb tails and stuff. And we can put this somewhere between 5 and 20, I guess. Depends on how hard you want it compressed. I like to just do like 10 or something. Since we got 3 different compressors, these are all doing like different things, and when we play it, it's gonna sound really nice and compressed. So right now we got a lot of sub, so that's why you gotta EQ sometimes. And yeah, now it sounds really tight and compressed. So that's a really easy way to go about mastering your tracks. If you learned something and liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a dislike. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.